welcome to another episode of Griot Connects, where we connect readers with writers and authors. Griot Connects exists to amplify voices and to share our stories. I'm your host, Yolanda Rasco, joined by my wonderful co-host, Tina Wise. And today we have the honor of welcoming a special guest, Gerri Holmes, author of the compelling book, Distractors. Hi, Gerri. Welcome to Griot Connects, and thank you so much for joining. I tell you, we've been really looking forward to this conversation to talk about Distractors. I know you see Tina here with us, my co-host.
Hi, Gerri.
And she's all amped up about this book. Gerri, go ahead and just open up with, just share with us an overview of the book for your listening audience and fans. Just bring them up to speed on the overview of the book.
So the overview of this book is for each person to recognize and identify things or people that is preventing them from being who they can be, all they can be, and interrupting their purpose. So that's really the overview. It's really recognizing what's in their way that is causing them to not get from point A to point Z. And so I just want
distractions.
Distraction. Yeah. But it's those things like what are those distractions within your way that is blocking you or preventing you from getting to the next level in life?
Okay. And that is a really good summary. I would even go farther to say that for me, it was like a guide. Like I could see it as a book it had great tips in it about, like you say, how to navigate your life around some of the things that are difficult, the distractions that keep us from reaching our overall goals. So that's what I enjoyed about it. Tina?
Yeah, Gerri, I'd like to ask you, what was the basic inspiration for your book?
Well, it started with, you know how every year we write down our New Year resolution. Mm-hmm. Every year, the year before, I'm writing down what I'm going to do in the next year. And what I found out of the 10 to 12 or 50 things that I wanted to do for that new year, in the new year, I looked back at the list and I said, oh my goodness, out of the 10 to 12, 14 things I listed, I only got to 3.
Right.
So then the question came in my mind is, why did I do this?
Right. What's going on? I was so committed. I was so excited.
I was so excited.
I was all amped up.
Yeah. I was really excited about what I had planned to do for that year, the next year, and the next year. Yep. And so when I look back at what was stopping me, I had to go and reevaluate my situation, my life was around me. And that's when I said...
And find somebody to blame.
Right.
Santina, seriously, last year on New Year's Eve, when you wrote your list...
I don't write them.
You don't write them?
No.
Because...
I don't write them because I think the actual act of making resolutions is a way of telling stories to yourself.
Lying to yourself, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay, Gerri, you're going to have to help us dissect this.
And that's great. I mean, I still do them, but now that I recognize what has prevented me from achieving those determinations or outcomes that I wanted to have, I did not get to them because I had to recognize what was preventing me or blocking me from getting there. So a lot of us do it. And like I said, when you write it down, when you write down your resolution, you are excited about it. You are, looking forward to that next year because what you can do the year before, you're really believing you can do it the next year.
Right.
You can get to it the next year. And so time flies by so fast, but so that book came about is that I just wanted people to recognize that if you write something down, because we all know that if you can write something down, it comes true. So that's why you write it down and hoping to achieve it. But it also takes work and it takes you evaluating why you didn't get to it in the first place.
Right.
Can I interject?
Please do.
I don't write resolutions, but I do write things down.
Right. Okay.
And part of the reason that I think I found your book so very, very helpful is because what it does is identifies what I call when you need to take the big broom. The big broom.
The big broom.
The big broom.
Not the little bitty broom that you sweep stuff out in the corner.
Where you have to sweep the debris out of your
the
life.
big stuff.
And in order to do that, you have to identify what needs to be swept.
The things that need to go.
People, places, and things.
So you know what, though, seriously, and I'm going back to this resolution, Jared, because this Distractors really requires you to focus, right, in order to achieve the things. And we're going to talk about some of the tips that you provide, self-love, et cetera, boundaries, et cetera. I mean, you talk about all those very cool things. But honestly, the reason it resonated is because I have very good friends that I love dearly. I love y'all. But y'all do the same thing you say you're going to stop doing. Then next year, and this is what they do. They call you while you got your black eyed peas and collard greens, right? They gonna call you and tell you, "Oh, girl, keep me accountable. Keep me accountable, sis. I'm not gonna do such. I promise you." I'm like, "Oh, you know what we used to say, Tina? Shoot me in the head."
Yeah.
If you see me with so and so and so and so,
shoot me
in the head.
And the thing is, I would have done it.
Tina, all right, we gonna move on because she probably wouldn't have. That's so wrong.
No, but I mean, here, the thing that you've done, Gerri, is you've made the archetypes so identifiable.
Yeah, in
terms of getting yourself to the point where you can get the big broom, as I call it.
Yeah.
And realize that these are the blockages that are keeping me from being the best person that I can be.
Yeah.
And it hurts sometimes and it's painful sometimes. And you don't want to do it because it's easier not to.
Right. It is.
It's so much easier not to. But in order to grow, you have to do it.
Gerri, you're going to have to talk about some of those blockages.
Oh, my God. It could be, of course, family and friends. Let's keep it real. There are people in our lives around us that they don't mean any harm, 99% of them. You know, and what I mean by that is you might have family that are dealing with complaints or they're going through something and they want to tie your ear up. Not that we don't need friends and we don't want to listen, but sometimes I'll deal with family. You have family members that will allow their problems and you allow them to become your problem. And so then you are weighted down on that spectrum. Then you have friends that will come to you, as you stated earlier, Yolanda, that there are friends that will come and say, I'm going to make a change. I'm going to do this. So they don't tout up your ear year 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, listening to the same thing that you've heard year after year.
Yeah.
And so, so you have to pay attention to, like I said, what's in your way, what's around you that are causing it. Now, so we talked about family and friend, and that's a lot of, you can go into a lot of in there. I can dive a little deeper in that. Again, allowing their problems to become your problem. Now you got to help them figure out a solution on that end, or they making you feel guilty because you may have made the right decision, they made the wrong decision, or they just want to be negative in your life.
Negative people.
On the friendship side, you're identifying friends that's good for you, the ones that are not. And then you got to set boundaries. And then you got those that you realize are only there for a season. You realize they're the wrong people in your life. So you got to kind of look at all of those dynamics in your life. Then there are things that will stop you, like fear. You know, you might have been told as a child, oh my goodness, there's no way you're going to accomplish these things in your life. You're not going to amount to anything. And so, or someone say, you're just plain old ugly. And you take that
with you every day.
And you hold on to that of things that may have said, and you hold on it, and that'll stop you. Because the minute you feel a little inspirational or you feel encouraged, the minute you step forward,
all those other voices.
Not just
that
the
fear
voices.
says, oh, you're worthless. Oh, you ugly. Oh, you can't do it. So you got to pay attention to those things. There are some people that may have been traumatized and they allowed that individual or group of bullies to stop them from going forward. So it's not just people, but things that may have occurred in your past that you're allowing it to be your future now, which is blocking you from moving forward on that level.
Gotcha.
Well, Gerri, I have a question. Can you kind of help us figure out how feelings impact our decisions, whether they're good or bad?
Feelings.
Oh, feelings. Oh, yes. Well, first, we're human. So when you're dealing with, somebody inappropriately saying something to you, or a disappointment, as human, you're gonna be like, "Oh my God," like my feelings are hurt. I'm crushed. What I've done in my life, I've created circles in my life. When I created those circle of groups in my life, I knew what to expect from them. I'm going to use Group A. Group A, associates. When you create these groups in your mind, you now know Group A is just associate. What do you expect from associate? It's basically business. So that's what you're saying.
Not the same as what you would expect from a friend or, a closer
you want to
person.
expect it. Yeah, you go into Group B. Let's say Group B is your coworkers. Your coworker, you expect to do a job. So you communicate for jobs, about job, daily tasks. You go into Group C. These are my loyal girlfriends. Yeah. Okay. Loyal girlfriends is they got your back when your back is turned. So what I've learned to do, and everybody out there in the audience, put these people in groups, categories. Therefore,
compartmentalize.
You know what to expect. So if the associate come and say to you, I don't agree with what you're saying. Now you talking business with them because now you agree because you talking business. So that's the relationship you have. So when you put these in the categories of these people in categories, family and friends, you know what to expect to them. And it will avoid major disappointment because now you already know what to expect. And let me tell you something about people. People will always disappoint you.
Say that. Hold on, Gerri. I'm going to speak to T-shirt. People will always disappoint you.
That's the T-shirt movement.
Yes. Reset your expectations. I'm just recapping because you said a lot. Reset your expectations. Point number one. What was the T-shirt?
The T-shirt was people will
disappoint. And put them in categories.
Right. But this is the way I used to tell my children.
What's that?
You don't call the person at 2:00 in the morning that you go party with.
Well, that is true. Because the person at 2:00 in the morning is the person that you're going to call who's going to get out of their bed and come and see about you. Right. And so that's a different category. So if you're setting an expectation for a friend or a family member to be that person that gets out of the bed at 2 a.m, but they are not that person, now you have introduced conflict unnecessarily.
Well, and
you didn't have them in the right category.
Projected your expectations onto them.
Yeah, that's problem. That's problematic. That's problematic.
Because you know who you know the ones that you can count on.
Right. They've proven it.
The best advice that works for me, I already know what to expect. So if you got the groups D, that these are the dress up girls example, well, all they want to do is dress up. They're not interested in being your friend.
I think I'm in that category.
But she will get up out of her bed at 2:00.
I will, but I'm going to put on my lipstick.
Yeah, they'll come out and take pictures and be cute. They're not interested in being your friend. They want to they want to bring you along to be on the cute picture. Okay.
Well, that is true.
So I can go on and on. So I would recommend that you place these people in categories.
I like that.
Therefore,
I agree.
You know what to expect from each of them. And then the disappointment, I kid you not, you won't be as disappointed because the lady that sells the cookie, that's category E. They're bakeries. They just like to bake and knit. If you want to be a part of them, you bake and knit. If you don't want to bake and knit with them, they're not interested in dealing with you. So, on the days you want to be to bake some food, you go handle them that day. So put some categories in place and put those that belongs to where. I guarantee you the disappointment will be so much
better.
So much less.
I like that.
I like it too, and I like to think that that's how I've been living for a very, very long time.
Yeah, Tina, you absolutely characterize that.
Yeah.
You absolutely do. And here's the other thing that Tina characterizes. I've known her for a very long time. I don't know if you know this story, but we go all the way back to high school.
Wow.
Yeah, we met when we were 14. We're only 25 now, so it's only been about, 10, 11
About 10
years.
minutes.
But, So here's the skinny. One thing that I do know about you in terms of managing distractions is this issue of self-love. Now, you address it in the book very well. Self-love, understanding the concept that you got to put that oxygen mask on first for yourself. Like you got to breathe. Now I can help somebody else. And so and Tina, you do that very well, meaning when there are lots of things going on in your life that need to be managed or negotiated, etc., you're going to do it. You're going to get things done, but you're also going to take a moment and kind of settle yourself as you're kind of sorting through, okay, what is next? You understand the value of taking that step back. And I don't want you to answer, but I want to go back to the book, Gerri, and you talk about the value of self-love and the importance of it as a secret ingredient to being able to move forward in the journey. Can you speak to that?
I sure can. So when you talk about self-love, this is when you become unapologetic.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
You have to now go hurt feelings. You're going to be surprised at the decision that you have to make so that you can get back to loving yourself. You're going to have to remove some people out of your life. You're going to have to set boundaries. You're going to have to realize that we talk all the time, and we see this on media. Black lives matter, white lives matter. But guess what? You matter. So when you matter, what does that mean? Now you're going to have to go back and build your own blueprint as to what self-love means. And so as you begin to build your own blueprint, it's going to allow you to say some things that are important to you and those things that are not. You're going to have to make a decision of what needs to be removed out of your life and who needs to stay. So with all that, those decisions that are being made, all you're doing is filling in the things that are missing in your life or has damaged you. And now you got to move this in and move this out. And so
reconstruction, basically.
Yeah, reconstruction and building the blueprint of what it is that makes you happy, what defines, what it looks like when you smile. Who are the ones that are in your way or the things that are in your way that are blocking you from self-loving yourself? So decisions have to be made. Boundaries have to be set.
There's a lot of decisions.
You have to make removal. Yeah. You're going to have to do reconstruction on your life so that you can get back to them. And you're going to have to disappoint some people and hurt some people. And it's okay because you're fighting to love you. You're fighting to get back to you.
You're putting yourself first.
Yeah. Yeah, you're putting yourself first. A lot of us as moms and speak one person entrepreneur. We put our work, we put our family and all that first. Even with that, you got to fight for a nap. You got to fight for a moment to
You got to fight for a nap.
Yeah.
Do you remember fighting for a nap? Wait a minute. Because I do remember that. I remember going into the bathroom, seriously.
Every mom.
Closing the door. And when my son would knock on the door, I'm choosing the bathroom.
Right.
And then, so finally I would say, listen, sweetie, when the door is closed, that means you go figure out what you need to do for yourself. But I think that what I hear you saying is I can close the bathroom door as an adult. My kids are grown now, etc., but I can still close the bathroom door on some of these relationship experiences where it's bringing me down. Right.
Yeah. And I think that, hopefully, as you mature, you start to learn these things.
Yeah, hopefully.
Well, but that's not necessarily a guarantee that you're going to do that. I mean,
But if you listen to Griot podcast, you can grow fast.
oh yeah, I could get you going like that. But that's another story.
Yeah, and everything goes into as I spoke about in my book. It all starts for identifying. You're identifying behaviors of people, personality of people, and you're not born with how to deal with this until you experienced it.
Yeah,
so you have life lessons that you go through, that you experience. What you like, what type of feelings it gives you, and then that's when you're learning when you're around siblings, parents. When it's time to be disciplined because it's not a good thing. When you have a good relationship with the sibling. When you're dealing with your cousin, who's the good one, the bad one, the disappointing one. So all this stuff is learned as a child, and then you mature, and then you get to a point in life where now I don't like this type of behavior. I don't like when they hurt my feelings. I don't like when they're jealous. I don't like when they're mean. So now you have grown up through life lessons to know what you're not going to deal with. And that's when you go back to say, when I'm in a place of happiness, I want to kind of stay right here. I want to fight for this. You fight for this because you're fighting for that self-love that you so deserve.
You realize the value in it.
Well, you realize the value of yourself, I think. And you know what? I have questions. So where you are now, you've written the book. Given your continued experiences, is there something you would like to add if you had an opportunity to the book?
The next book, the next chapter.
The new book.
Next book. Oh my goodness. My next book will be titled Glass Under the Grass. It will touch on something underneath the layers, the things that you're more so blinded by, something that's around you that is affecting you that you may have not faced off. So my next book is Glass in the Grass, because everybody is born into this world to design to thrive. And so, but with that comes competition, with that come challenges. You're going to deal with a lot, but you got to pay close attention what's surrounding you, what's in the midst, what's around, circling around you. That's
situational awareness, all that.
From the darkness to the light. You know? So that's my next book, Glass in the Grass.
All right, now.
Are you writing it now?
I've drafted up a couple chapters, so hopefully in later 2025, it'll be coming out.
Well, we'll have to have you back to talk about it. Gerri, I do want to ask about lessons learned in terms of a final way of closing out this discussion. I want to ask if you've had any, if there are any unique lessons learned that you hope your readers take away as an outgrowth of reading this book.
Oh my God.
What should we know?
Listen, first of all, get the book.
Okay.
Get the book, order the book. It's on Amazon, is in Walmart, various online stores, and read the book, because it is a life lesson. It offers tips. But when you get to page 75, it's going to give you some reminders. It's going to give you a lot of reminders that talk about how important you are. People are not allowed to judge you. Progress, it's like progress, not perfection. Who are you to judge me? Know your worth. You must know your worth. You are the artist of your own life. Okay.
I love that.
Matter. So you are designed to thrive. So when they get through that book on page 75, it's going to offer some reminders.
I love it.
Keep that page open, because people need to know we cannot let the opinion of others affect us. We have the right to make decisions that's best for us, especially when we are now older. We're adult. We don't need another adult to tell me what to do.
Right. We kind of know.
I would hope so.
Some of us.
Embrace who you want to be. You make the decision. And foremost, again, build that blueprint of what makes you happy.
I love
Build that blueprint, what makes you happy and what you're trying to do. Okay. And so those are some great tips. And there's so much more, That's on page 75. So I would say get there, read that over and
Page
over
75.
Page 75.
Page 75.
Put a
Yeah,
book
yeah.
note,
So
bookmark in there.
bookmark, yeah, page 75. It lists about 20 of them. And keep it on that page, keep it out, make a copy and put it everywhere. Know your self-worth. You are valuable, you are important, you are loved, you do matter.
You do matter. I think that's a great place to leave the discussion, Gerri. It has been really inspiring hearing about distractors because we all have them, right? It's just a common part of the human experience. But then the question becomes, what do you do about them? Like, we all have dreams, we all have visions and goals and things that we want to do. But then there are those things that kind of keep holding us back. And sometimes as we've heard today, it's in our own selves. It's our own power. It's our own circle. And we can do something about it. So I thank you for writing about this. I thank you for the subject matter and for delving into it and for giving us some tips and guides on what we can do to have that great, better life and to live our best life. Gerri, is there any final words you have for us?
Well, I'm gonna clear these two. All distractors are not bad distractors. So I want to clear that disclaimer. We do have some good distractors, meaning that if you broke down on the road and somebody is letting you know that you're in the way, you need to move over, or you get a flat tire, you want people to distract you to help you. So distractors, not all a bad word. There is some good distractions in people's lives. And foremost, get the book. It's really so you can fight for what's important to you in your life. I mean, I cannot express it enough. It's so important that we take care of.
I really enjoyed the tips. And I'm going to write page 75.
Page 75.
Yeah.
Everybody
on my refrigerator to make me go and get page 75.
Page 75.
As a matter of fact, I might print page 75.
There you go.
Yeah, print. You can copy
print it out.
Affirmations for the next month.
Page 75.
Page 75. Thank you, Gerri. Thanks for coming. Thank you for writing Distractors.
It's so nice to meet you.
Yes, and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye now.
And thank you so much for having me. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Course.
Thank you. It was amazing, and now I know why I'm distracted.
You're so crazy. Thank you, Tina. But I will tell you, thank you guys. We hope that you enjoyed hanging out with us and just chopping it up.
And as my dad used to say, we are taking some numbers and telling some lies.
Yeah, but we're mostly uncovering the great stories and the insights of some really interesting people.
And as always, we're doing it our way with a little bit of savoir-faire.
Savoir-faire it is. Griot Connects it is. And it's where you can meet the minds behind the story and where the narrative lives on. Thanks for joining Griot Connects.
Bye-bye.